Alright, so here we go. We'll try again. Second time's a charm here tonight. Good evening. It's been a minute since I saw all of you. You can see that, I remember last time we were live, we had just completed normal difficulty with Danziel here, our assassin. And I had said that the next time we got together we would tackle Nightmare, or begin to tackle Nightmare. But I wanted to go ahead and make just one correction from the last time that that I was playing, and that is relating to the number of traps that you would drop. Apparently, when I said that because of next hit delay, got a whole huge pack of movies. Now, of course, they're not really going to be worth anything to us because it's just not high enough. But there were some changes that were made to next hit delay. Not this most recent patch, but a couple patches ago. Where now you can lay more than 3, you could always lay up to 5 consecutive traps, but you really only got credit, as I mentioned, for 2, maybe 3 of them. If the timing all worked out perfectly because of the whole next hit delay penalty. That has been revamped and fixed slightly. I shouldn't say fixed, but they changed that now, so it works more on a skill by skill basis. Each trap is treated, I think, if I'm remembering it correctly, is treated as its own instance of a skill, and so therefore you can now lay up to 5 traps and get all 5 traps doing damage on your target, so it does the damage that you would expect it to do. And that is that's great. That's just makes sense. It's nice when they make changes like that. So we're going to go ahead and up this to players 8 now, because why not? I just wanted to make that correction. And then show kind of what that looks like. You can see, we still kill things really quickly. Smoke shield in one socket. But really, I do want to see if, just take one more shot at it, especially because, we've got really good damage here, of getting a 5-socketed sword that, or sorry, what I'm saying, a 4-socketed sword drop here. Now players 8, just that many more things that will drop, so just figured it was worth giving one more shot here before we go up to
Not enough money.
Cow King drops a saber, which really isn't going to be that helpful for us. But as you can see, this angelic, right? Yep, angelic signal.
I need more.
Gonna check out this halberd. Nah, it's just ethereal. It doesn't have any sockets in it.
Move.
Just gonna check all these clickies, these poppables. And again, we're just really looking for more socket sword. We could also use a three-socketed socket foil. We could also use a three-socketed long sword, long-term for all of those. You see, we're leveling up pretty quickly here. I'll be careful not to get too high on the legend. Because I definitely want to get to... We're going to have to identify some of these amulets and things. Probably none of them are going to be what we need, but check this stuff out. Heads, portal, some mana potions, charms. Small charms are always really, well, I shouldn't say always, but they're always worth picking up and looking at them, because even low-level small charms can have things like resistances, or magic find, or things like that that are really, that are just really nice to have, even at high levels. You see that we what did we use? Maybe one trap there, and it still did all of that damage. One interesting thing about this, for anybody who doesn't know, the way they did the sounds, developing the level, they didn't have broadsword. That could be it. That could be one. 4 sockets. Gotta have 4 sockets, or we don't care. Let's just identify some quick. 5 to strength. It's not a horrible charm. Sometimes you need those to hold damage. That's not gonna help us. Check out the broadsword. 3. So close. Could possibly be used for a crescent moon later, although really I'd want to use a longsword for that because it's a little bit faster. At that point, we'll probably care about attack speed enough that we'll this. So I think with that am room, we may now have... I'm gonna have to go back and look and see what we have, but we may have enough to just make a spirit sword right now. Excuse me. difficulty levels, the density of the cow level is even higher. So it's a little easier. Go ahead and just leave that. That broadsword, because I'm really going to want a 3-socketed longsword at the very least when I know it's time to do. Press it.
Move.
That's looks like we didn't get lucky here. Still have a few picking up the sword, but looks like just gonna have to go and Larzik. That are kind of hiding, although again, the goal is not to kill every single monster in the cow level, it's really just to farm density. Okay, well, didn't have what we needed. But, again, we want to get over to, yeah, we're already level 34, so we really want to get over to Nightmare. Explain why. Just...
The Order welcomes you.
So, these are not useful. Frost Nova, enhanced defense, poison resist, half freeze duration is okay, but not saving. Dexterity. Hit recovery is not bad. I'm going to go ahead and hang on to that one for straight, not useful. Restoration, not useful. This is not bad. Or, sorry. However, Sovereignty has 10 fire blast. 10 faster cast rate and little life is This is effectively extra res. Skills. Just hang on to it for now, just in case, although I'm probably going to use it. So let's see. We have Tall, Port. And unless I'm mistaken, Tall, Port, Am give me Spirit Weaver. So let's do this right now. Drop the Angelic in here. Part of our kind of collection of set items and things for actually, it's Arctic. got first. Let's hope that where we got this was actually a high enough level place. I don't think I would have saved it otherwise. Or this is going to end up being really lame.
Afternoon.
Add sockets. Please be the right thing. Yep, it is. 4 sockets. Okay. And then I'm just going to double check. It's always a good idea to double check whenever you are doing a rune word. Even though I've made this rune word several times, it just doesn't hurt to check and make sure. Talthal Ort M. So, this is going to be a great upgrade for us. So here we go. Tal. Thal. Ort. M. And there's a spirit rune word with a 26% faster cast rate, which is horrible. Fortunately, we're not a caster, so it doesn't really matter that much. I mean, we are a caster, but cast rate doesn't really affect our trap lane speed or anything like that. So, but you can see why this is so good. I mean, you get this massive amount of hit recovery on it. The lightning and cold damage, and poison damage, and the lifesteal, those things, none of those are going to matter because we're not going to hit anything with this. But the extra vitality, the extra mana, those are huge. And then, you know, the big thing too is +2 to all skills. So we will lose a little bit here, right? The leaf staff will lose the 33% cold res. We'll lose the +3 to fire skills, but we will make it up in the sense that we'll be able to cast our spells. We'll be able to cast our traps a little faster because the sword is faster than the staff in terms of attack speed. And also, once we start using, this also allows us to use a shield. So you can see here, it won't be as obvious here because our resistances are really high. But let's just go ahead and go to Nightmare. My goodness, we've got, I'm going to start with our strength because we will need to get a little bit more strength as we go, and we're going to get a bunch of vitality in a minute. Let's take a look at the fire traps. Yeah. So I'm just going to keep pumping up Fire Blast because that will keep boosting our Wake of Fire for now. And then we're going to go options and lower our difficulty rate. And we're going to save and exit. And now we'll go to Nightmare difficulty.
Good day.
And you can see it's just like starting the game all over again. Back in the rogue camp, talking to Wareve, just as though we'd never talked to him before.
Greetings, stranger.
But we've already done all this stuff, so it doesn't really make any sense to go ahead and do it again. But the nice thing here is that if you'll notice in Nightmare, our resistances are a little bit lower, and that is because in Nightmare difficulty, you get -40 resistances is your default setting. So if we had no resistances, no gear on, no nothing, and also if we hadn't done our quest to save Anya, that improved all of our resistances by 10, we would be sitting here with -40 fire resist, cold resist, lightning resist, poison resist. But because we have gear, that obviously helps us out. So we're going to take off the leaf staff. Instead, let's see, again, that cold resistance comes way down. But we will put on our Spirit Sword, and let's also equip this Ancient's Pledge shield. And you can see now our resistances are great, because the Ancient's Pledge shield is a really nice resistance-oriented shield. Plus, you know, basically 43 to all resistances and then a little bit extra lightning, fire, and poison is great. Eventually, we'll replace this, hopefully, with a Rhyme shield that gives us cannot be frozen. Gives us a little bit of resistances too, and a little bit of magic find, which are nice. But for now, this Ancient's Pledge shield is fantastic. Let's see what we have here. Okay. Other thing I wanted to do was, and the nice thing too is that because Spirit gives us +2 to all skills, that means that yes, our fire skills got a little bit worse. Basically, got worse by 1, but our burst of speed is a little bit better now, right? It's not just a skill level of 1; it's a skill level of 3 because that Spirit is boosting it up a little bit.
I am Akara. There is a place.
Akara. What I want to find is, and look at this, we find it on literally the first time I shop Akara, we find a lower resist wand, which is exactly what I was looking for, and it's exactly why I wanted to come to Nightmare before we hit level 36, because it's easier to find. You can see all of these other wands and things, except for this one staff, are blue, right? Just like what we did when we were shopping for the teleport staff. We can't use this until we hit level 36, so it shows up as red on the screen, which means that if we're looking for a lower resist wand, and you'll see why it's really nice to have as we go forward, because it will lower the resistances of monsters that we're fighting against when we cast it. So for now, I'm just going to take this, which is just
Not here.
amazing. And we're going to keep it over here for safekeep until we're level 36, or until we get to a point where we really need it. And this is going to be just really, really handy to have. I can't believe we found it that quickly. The other thing I thought I would do here is, because we did the whole set of normal on the resurrected improved graphics, I thought I would see if I could run through all of Nightmare using the legacy graphics, just kind of for fun, just to kind of
They'll
show
never see me coming.
difference, so you can kind of appreciate the differences between resurrected and what they had before that. You see those fire traps look a lot different. Now we're gonna kill things so quickly, and that's where whenever you see that you're just mowing through things super fast, and I'm gonna try to get through. I must have missed the enemy. I'm gonna try to get through this Nightmare as quickly as I can. Well, I shouldn't say as quickly as I can, but we're gonna go through it relatively fast. A lot faster than we did. There's the enemy, you can see. That's fine. Come back and do that in a minute. But of course we gotta come up here and grab our waypoint. But whenever you see that we're killing things that fast, then you can say, okay, maybe we up the player difficulty setting a little bit. Alright, so we've upped it to 5. I always like to do it, it's best to generally do it. Now those guys won't have the additional health and experience gains and item drops, because they were spawned when we were still on player difficulty setting 1. But anything we come across up here will, so it should take a little bit longer to kill them. And really, boss packs and things like that, because that's where the big experience is. Alright, so we'll pop back over here. You'll see we're just gonna push the tempo a little bit in the hopes of going through the game.
So dark. Perfect.
See, we up the difficulty. We upped the difficulty, so things do take a little bit longer to die. Don't tell me that's a 4-socketed crystal sword. The game is seriously trolling me if that's what happens. Okay, good. 2-socket. Not that I don't, you know, not that I'm like rooting against it or anything, but that would have just been too much. Remember, in the Den of Evil, we gotta kill all the monsters, so we just have to clear the whole thing. Check this scimitar. I don't know if scimitars can be 3 open sockets, but if they can, I think scimitars are faster. Sure, I'll take that straight through. That sounds great. In which case, maybe a scimitar makes a good crescent moon base as well. Crescent moon is kind of the best in, I don't want to say best in slot, because it's depending on a lot of other things, like what your other gear is and things like that. But Crescent Moon is excellent for an assassin because, or for a traps assassin, because it lowers enemy resistance to
Not enough mana.
lightning by 35%. Basically, when you start using lightning traps, you'll see that's extremely important because basically it's just a straight 35% damage. Spirals. And we are still doing great. I mean, there are no concerns about, you know, not being able to kill things quickly. And this is where, to me, the game becomes just super fun in Nightmare, because it's when your build really starts to come online. You can, you're leveling, hopefully if you've done everything, you're leveling pretty well, right? Because we can go on higher player counts and find that this is what often happens, is you're stuck trying to find even the last monster in the den. Anyway, you know, you can play the game on higher player counts. And so you're leveling quickly, you're going through the game basically as quickly as you possibly can. Picking up, you know, good loot along the way. You know, it's a really rewarding experience. I am going to, this is a 2-socketed breastplate, which is not that useful. I'm really looking for a 3-socketed breastplate or armor, or a serpent skin armor would also be there we go. Because
The rogue's test is done.
it's a 2-socketed serpent skin armor, which isn't as valuable. I mean, sure, we could take our stealth, you know, find another Tal and an Ethrune and put it into this, and technically it would be a little bit better, right? Because that's defense 24, defense of 120. But it's just not. It's just not really worth it. So, you know, defense is not
You
that
have
important
cleansed the
until you
den
start
of
to get to
evil.
really high
You've
defense
earned my
levels.
trust.
Okay, thanks, Akara. We will sell some of these things. We don't have a Deckard Cane yet, so we'll here. And 22% chance of getting magic items, lightning resist, fire resist. these are pretty nice boots. Give you the lightning resistant, fire resistant, both the ones you really want. The 22 magic vine is nice, but without faster run walk on them, they're not amazing. The charge bolt and the enhanced defense are mostly useless. So we're gonna sell these, but those are very intriguing. That was a nice boots. All right, and we'll just keep going. Now I know I said I was gonna try to run through this relatively quickly. 90 strength here. And keep going with our fire build. And what the heck, let's go to... Let's go to player 7. Generally I go player settings in odd numbers, because it turns out that additional additional items I think come from player 7. I think the number of items that you get between player 7 and players 8 is the same. So when you're farming on player 7 is basically the same thing as farming on players 8. I mean, there's really no difference. You get a little bit of extra. I think this is going to be the burial grounds, which we don't really need to do. Took the wrong fork in the road here. We want to make sure that we are killing all of the boss packs. You can see that guy's spectral hit, right? So he's got higher resistance to all of the elemental skills. And so he took a little bit longer to kill. One of the other things you see here is with Nightmare. You can see he is cursed and he has mana burn. This boss, if he was on normal difficulty, would have either cursed or mana burn. He would not have both. So the elites that you run into on Nightmare have 2 additional kind of affixes to their to whatever their basic stuff is as bosses. Pick up this Hulk. And let's see. This should put us at level... Oh, there we are. We're 36. So we can go ahead and grab our lower resist, but we really don't need it right now. We're doing just fine. See, so it's extra fast and cursed instead of just extra fast or cursed. Just see, like, look how many things are dropping, and our levels are just skyrocketing. Yeah, this build does a ton of damage when it's at this point. And some of it is, again, because of that, the hit delay. This flail. We may at some point decide that we want a 3 open socket flail. Actually, we did find while we're in the starting field, this is an underground passage. But it needs to find a here. Experience shrine. Always welcome. Again, really just hunting those packs. That was just a regular pack. It just says demon, or it says undead, or if it doesn't say anything, then it's just a regular.
And so it came to pass that the Countess...
That particular thing when we did it in normal difficulty. So we'll go ahead and just learn experience shrine burnout here and listen to the multi.
And so it came to pass that the Countess, who once bathed in the rejuvenating blood of 100 virgins, was buried alive. And her castle, in which so many cruel deeds took place, fell rapidly into ruin. Rising over the buried dungeons in that god-forsaken wilderness, a solitary tower, like some monument to evil, is all that remains. The Countess's fortune was believed to be divided among the clergy, although some say that more remains unfound, still buried alongside the rotting skulls that bear mute witness to the inhumanity of the human creature.
So she sounds lovely. That's the Countess, and so you remember that the Countess is the one that we killed on normal difficulty several times in order to get our Tal and Eth rooms. The Tyr and the Ral rooms that we need for our extended.
These stones hold an ancient power.
Have actually a lot of experience. Good place to level up. That's a stamina shrine. Of course, we don't care about stamina anymore. Very important. Very low level, and then eventually it just doesn't matter. There's the experience shrine. He's fire enchanted, so here is where what you might do is go back and grab that lower resist wand, because that would kill him. That would allow us to curse him with lower resistances, and we'd be able to kill him much faster. But probably would take more time for this one at this point. Just looking for the waypoint. It's all just really hiding. It's not torches for the encampment. I don't know. There's definitely a waypoint in Stony Field. It's not there. Well, maybe I'm blind. Oh, right there.
Yes?
Wonderful 24 lightning damage. Not that useful. Fire resist 10. What do we wear? Oh, we run an Angel Ring. Nice. And 17. I think the lightning resist is one. Lightning resist. Jewel. It's an okay jewel, but jewels are just nice to have for crafting. So we'll hang on to that. Just these guys for now. Now we had a shale room as well. Okay. Let's go through the underground passage. Make our way to the dark wood.
I can't carry anymore.
Free socket. That guy is fire enchanted, so he ends up being immune to fire. So, no point trying to fight him. We're still doing all of this players immunity. That all of these monsters have, you know, it's not exactly at times, but it's have a significant amount more health. We're circling. Only one over the side. That's the way up. Darn it. That might be usually when you find the way, sorry, not the way up. Usually when you find the way down, it means you went the wrong way to find the way up. Vitality. Fire. Skills. Oops. Oh, well, it's gotta be this way. This, nope. And this should be somewhere around here. Yep, there it is. Dark wood. Sockets. Find one with 4. Might be worth thinking about making sight. Especially if they're like extra fast. They just at first glance. And stop me before I level up again. I mean, it's ridiculous. Where are we at? Level 39. Goodness. We have to find the Black Marsh waypoint for sure. And we're hoping for a decent... When I say decent map, what I mean is one... one where the waypoint is really close to... There's a river in this map, which sometimes can be a bad sign. A lot of times when there's a bridge and a river, it means you're gonna have to run extra far. That we don't know until we find waypoint. Well, here's the tower. And I'm guessing that the waypoint's going to be on the other side of the river. Just based on the layout. put a town portal here. 'Cause we will want to come back and do the tower. But considering how far away it is, maybe it's up here. It's possible. This just looks like it's a fallen camp. Oh, nope, it's right there. So, maybe it's not terrible.
Hello.
58 to mana is actually quite a bit of mana, but we don't really have any mana issues because of our wonderful our truly wonderful Spirit Sword. So we need Shale F. Do we have... we have Shale. This is an Etherin. That's an Etherin. So, that would give us a Rhyme Shield. And we have Wart and Soul, which would give us a Lore Helmet. So we have some key pieces. This broadsword is useless. I don't need this anymore. And those are for our personalized boots. So let's just go ahead and do the tower real quick.
Oh, who would want to remember this place?
Got stuck in a corner there. But, not to worry. We do absurd amounts of damage. Oh, there's the tower way down. This looks like this might be one of those. It's gonna be over here. Oh, that's a nice short one. Now, want to go to I think I discarded those changes. You want to go to players 1 when you do the Countess, because she will drop more runes on players 1 than she will on higher player settings.
treasure. It almost covers the stench.
And we just...
I am overburdened.
Stop trying to pick up the sword.
Hi there. Those...
And we do that so that we can, she replenishes all of them. If you sell a vendor, you know, a tome, and they don't normally sell it, it will just get added to their inventory. Actually, I'm going to take some topazes and combine them. It's just too many things that we're put onto here. Hang on to a couple of chipped gems because you do need them for your for combining runes later, like 3 soul runes, for example, plus a chipped topaz will give you an amp rune. So that's just something that you need to kind of remember as you go through. Alright, so let's head up to Highland. We're gonna follow the river down here. Let's go. Alright, let's put it back up to 7.
I need mana.
We're just gonna follow this up to the monastery gate. Always gotta be careful with the archers because they will really mess you up, especially on high player counts. It does increase the damage that enemies will do to you. And you can see here why having that rhyme shield would be really nice because it cannot be frozen. Definitely will save your life.
Such corruption in this place.
Ghostly ones, some kind of like insane damage reduction on them. So I think I was thinking I would go through this really fast, but
The Order welcomes
clearly
you.
I'm not a speedrunner. Pretty good gloves. I'm already maxed out on cold resist, so that reminds me, I should be checking Charcy from time to time just to check her gloves and see what she
When
has.
I fled the mon-
Alright. Roll up to the outer cloister. And nope, I picked the wrong one. There's a way to know based on this middle map, and it's basically where the way to know is where the waypoint is determines, and I just did it totally wrong. Where the waypoint is determines which way you should go to get to the jail. Barracks and the jail. The directions they are.
I am overburdened.
Yeah, there's no reason to
Try and cage me, demons.
malice right He's magic resistant. So, you know what? I'm not even gonna bother. Don't think that's the way to go. That means that there's some and especially if you're up against someone who is, you know, lightning enchanted or whatever, you can take a lot of damage in a very short period of time. is very fun, but it definitely is a little more cumbersome on console. You know, on a PC, you just click the direction you want to go, and you know, and your character walks there, goes there. You click exactly where you want your spells to be cast, or where you want to use a particular ability or whatever. But console, you're always playing this game of, you know, where exactly is my cursor, kind of thing, right? Like, clearly it's in front of you. But like where my traps get deployed, you just kind of have to
I am overburdened.
intuit that almost. Just a single socket, not because if you were on PC playing this, you would just click on the ground and that would be where your trap would go. On console, there's this feeling of kind of like, well, I kind of wanted to go in this general area, so I point my character in that area, and that's where it goes. Secure defender. If that has 2 sockets, I don't love defenders because they're socket heavy. They tend to have a lower block chance than other types of shields. But if that had been 2 sockets, I probably would have just gone with it. Put the rhyme shield in there, just so I could stop being frozen by archers or monsters who... Oh my goodness, yeah, that is... fire enchanted, so he is just not going to take that much damage from fire spells. Okay, I made it to the inner cloister. Oh my goodness, 10 stat points. You're just 4 skill choices. Have we really waited 4 skills? And now we're totally maxed out on Fire Blast and on Wake of Fire. So the rest of these are going to have to go into... You know, there's part of me that we could take like Cloak of Shadows, we could take Fade, but realistically at this point we're just going to keep using Burst of Speed, and we're still doing so much damage with our fire traps that it doesn't matter. 255 to 294 damage. Every little wave of fire that goes out. That's all player's aid stuff. Bone ash. Wow. Okay. Well, at least it gives us a chance to finish our potions a little bit. Check this bow. That's another thing too that gets annoying also, is that, you know, picking things up just a little bit higher level of difficulty for some of those simple things, but
I don't like it down here.
of just being able to play the comfort of your couch or living room or whatever. You don't need to have some super awesome gaming rig or something like that in order to play it. It's just scary. So you can see, now that we're in Nightmare, we're getting Nightmare, what we would call exceptional level items rather than normal level items. So this is a dimensional blade. Looks just like a crystal sword, and for the most part it is a crystal sword. It's just the Nightmare version of a crystal sword. When you get to Hell difficulty, we'll be dropping phase blades, which again will look just like dimensional blades and crystal swords, but they will be the Hell version of a crystal sword. You can still find crystal swords, but you can also we're now at the point where we're going to start seeing dimensional blades drop. And that is, again, how the loot system works. So there is a unique crystal sword. There's also a unique dimensional blade. Obviously, if a dimensional blade can't drop in difficulty, then you're never going to see the unique version of the dimensional blade, which is in Rift. You're just never going to see that in normal difficulty. Whereas you could see the unique crystal sword or the unique dimensional blade here. And it doesn't mean that, you know, there's no chance that a phase blade could drop. A phase blade could drop in certain parts. It's all dependent on the level of monster. I'm just kind of saying in general. Packs of champion shaman is really good because they're all of these. Also, guys just are not taking that much damage. Fire traps. And I think part of that is because by the time we get to hell difficulty, these guys will all be in fire damage, which means they must have pretty high fire resistance to start with. So is it worth it to stand here and kill this guy? No, but I'm committed at this point. Catacombs level 2 waypoint, that's a good one to have. Level 3.
I am overburdened.
Crown shield. Our resistance is plus 20. 4 sockets. That would be really great for a paladin because they could just put a spirit rune word in there and would give you the additional 20 resistances and 2 sockets. Or sorry, and 2 skills. Nice. That's a nice piece of armor right there for a paladin. One of the big advantages that paladins have in this game, especially while leveling, is that paladin shields can get 4 open sockets. Way before your sort of standard non-paladin shields can. Right? A paladin in Nightmare can be rocking a spirit shield, whereas the soonest this character is ever going to get a spirit shield if we find a monarch. Drops it. It's the kite shield, which can have 4 sockets in it. Well, I have this map pretty well explored for all the places not to go. This is not a great map. It's actually quite a bit of distance you got it covered. Whoops. Just realized I did this. There's 8. So it may take quite a while to kill Ondario.
Good day.
And with that in mind, definitely not that. 10 FCR, but nothing else. Let's go ahead and put our lower resist one just gonna park the teleport staff here for now. We don't, not needing it that much. What else do we got? This is just extra mana. Probably don't need this anymore. Just the life is still nice. Hit recovery, that's good. 7, yep. Definitely keep that. Like, this is 4 and life, that's great. This 5, that's great. 7, yeah. Okay. All of these. But now that we have this wand of lower resistance, let's go ahead and get our level ups here. We want to bind this skill, and let's just make it, electric right now.
Yes?
Check history real quick. Yeah. Let's put Ondario on players 3. Hopefully she's spawned on players 3 and not players 7. Hopefully she doesn't already spawn. Sure. She is. And there we go. We've threw our
Not enough mana.
Oh yeah. Remember. Fire damage. So there you go. Ondariel is a really good boss to farm with this character, especially at this point, because
Death becomes you, Ondariel.
love it. Because she just takes fire damage like nobody's business, and we do a ton of fire damage, and it's not that hard to get down here for this character. So
I am overburdened.
Ondariel is a very, very solid farming location. We have unique military axe, which is kind of nice for our Holy Grail quest. And
I can't carry anymore.
on that, we will
Hello.
go ahead.
Finally, we may rejoice.
This is the Warlord's Trust military axe. Actually, a pretty decent weapon. 10 resistant, 10 to all res, 22 vitality. And this is one of those weapons that, you know, at some point, may have been a part of some builds, but now that rune words exist, you know, you're never gonna find somebody who's gonna be like, yeah, I really need to get a Warlord's Trust from whatever. And a Cathan seal ring. If you ever find a set ring, it's always only going to be, there's 2 set rings in the game. There's Cathans, and there's Angelic. That's it. So you do get to a certain point where you just don't pick up set rings anymore because they're not very good. The Angelic one is useful in some very specific circumstances for characters who do physical damage and are reliant on attack rating. Another decent set of gloves, 13 magic fine, 22 poison resist, but the rest is pretty useless. Not a bad helmet, cold and fire res, but, you know, not amazing. Right, so we'll put our here.
Good evening.
What else is in here? Castray, Cathans, and just another Castray one, so yeah. It's like Wareve is ready to rock and roll. Let's real quick. That's fine. We'll throw the elf in there. Check
Good evening.
Tarsi. Ooh. Yeah, I'll take that. $26 magic find. No run walk on it though, so no thanks. And we will sell those. Look at these. Sell that. That's why it's kind of nice to check with Tarsi now and then. You can see our fire res went down, but our lightning resistance went up. So,
The caravan is prepared.
we don't need to watch the cutscene here. We've gone ahead and
Greetings.
beaten all of Act 1. We can go back and get these quests anytime. Oh, it looks like it reverted to the new graphics. So let's go back to the old graphics. Just because we're going to do all of Nightmare on these. And let's rock and roll. We don't need to do Radam anymore. Later. I think we still have to. Actually, that's fine. Because these graphics are new. It's interesting the way that I didn't even notice it, that the character screen gives you... Oh, nice. We just pop right over to the dry hills. The character screen gives you... What is this guy? He's magic resistant. Alright. That makes sense. Shows it to you in high definition. In resurrected graphics, but the regular game is just in the other graphics. Pick up that skill shrine. We know the way to the next one can't be down to our left, because that's where Lugo Lane is. So let's go around the outside of the map here. The dry hills, sure. here's where, you know, that teleport staff would be really nice. We just pop on the teleport staff, hop over to this wall, and... Man, that darn leaper, that unique leaper. Those guys are so fast and so annoying. They would just And here's where the Halls of the Dead are, but we don't need to go to the Halls of the Dead because we still have our Herodric Cube from normal difficulty. We got more beetles. Remember, beetles are great. They tend to give really high experience. Yeah, remember in the far oasis, we were looking for waypoint force, but also the maggot layer. Bad situation there. Here is the maggot layer. So we'll drop our portal here and hope that we run across either the waypoint or the way to the next zone. That could be the waypoint, but it was not. And we ran out of stamina for the first time in Lord Nelson. So it does happen. It's pretty rare. Interesting map.
I am overburdened.
And I just realized that probably the reason I'm running out of
I am
stamina
overburdened.
again for the first time in feels like forever is because the itchies, when they hit you, those mosquito swarms, they drain your stamina. So that is probably the main
I know
reason.
much about.
Nope. "25 cold res is pretty nice, but speed of minimum damage is useless, and fire and lightning res tend to be more valuable." Just get up to this here. And we did the level up. Just keep popping that vitality. Don't need anything else right now, so let's just go ahead and go down to the maggot layer. Well, that's a nice easy maggot layer level 1. Here, traps are...
I can't carry anymore.
Wait, did I not? I don't know what happened. Traps are... I'm not going to say they're useless, but they're not nearly as helpful. Narrow confines here. There's a 3 sockets. D2R. And if we ever get to
I
mosaic,
can't carry anymore.
3 socket is exactly what we're gonna need, but sure, it doesn't have any mods on it whatsoever. That would be useful. Imagine the thing to do would be to lower the player count here, but I'm stubborn. We're not going to do that. Yeah, plowing your way through the... Plowing your way through the, you know, through the maggot layer is definitely one of the more annoying parts of the game. I don't think we need to hold on to this glaive. Is that not the same war axe that we found. Alright, so remember, we're just down here to find Gold Crow and the Staff of Kings. We don't even need to go to Gold Crow. But because we
I need
probably
mana.
grab it.
I am overburdened.
Oh, blessings on the rogues. They finally rescued me from that cursed place.
So Deckard Cain will come with you, but then you can see, until you complete his quest to bring him out of Tristram, you have to pay him to identify items for you.
Not in town.
It is an honor to serve you.
This is the Rake Scar, or Axe. 30% increase attack speed. A lot of extra damage. Kinda nice. This is horrible. It's shocking how bad that is. That on our list of things to have. Man, the way the game logic works for charms and potions is just crazy.
Not in town.
Okay. Let's get through the Lost City here. And go clear out the Claw Viper Temple. Magic resistant apparently, but not resistant enough. I don't know how we didn't die there. Oof. That should have been it, really. Let's be honest. That was a Fanatis of Mora and a whole bunch of other really bad stuff. It's just, we're lucky that we were able to put enough of them into hit recovery with the damage that we do. That slowed down their DPS just enough that our potion was able to out-heal it. Like, man, that should have been our first death. And that's also why playing hardcore on console is even more hardcore because you just don't have an easy way to save and exit. You know, if I wanted to get out of the game in that situation, I have to go here, I have to go to options, I have to go to save and exit, I have to do all of that. And I'm sure that there are people who do that incredibly quickly. People do amazing things, you know, with dexterity in video games, but
Dark magic in a darker tomb.
oh wow, that was really lucky. Inspire enchanted. But might as well. It's not that hard to kill. I always forget that the Horned Helm is a barbarian.
The Viper. I've been.
Not here. Serpents. I expected worse.
Right, now we got our staff.
Greetings.
Just extra defense, that's not that exciting. Poison length reduction. These are fantastic. 2 to javelin and spear skills and 20% increased attack speed. These are almost GG gloves for a Spearazon. Not a Spearazon, a Javazon. Wow, we were 100% going to buy those for whenever we get around to doing a... Yeah, I forgot to have cycles. 20 fire res. Whenever we get around to doing a Javazon, that will be an incredibly welcome set of gloves. Especially to put on at level 35. Are you kidding me? That's great. I mean, that's like almost best in slot. The only thing that would make that better is if it was +3. And at the level we're at right now, we're, what, maybe 40 something? I mean, we've been flying. God, level 47. We've been flying through levels. I don't think we're even a high enough level where you could spawn +3 to javelin and spear skills. So these are literally the greatest Amazon gloves that we could possibly see at this level. Just amazing. And that's why you know, it always behooves you to check the vendors, because you just never know when something like that is going to show up. It's really awesome. Now, it's not 320s, you know, the 320s will be something we probably, you know, if I go ahead and do a Javazon run, at some point I will probably just shop the 320 gloves, because it's worth having the gloves that do +3 and 20, but, man, that's really good. Lightning resist 28. So let's talk to Jaren. Go through the palace.
I've heard that you are. I've been.
Good greetings, honored. When the trouble.
Yes, yes. When the troubles began, you let the harem girls come and stay in your boudoir. Let's. Just keep it going. What did I do? Oh. Wrong. Champion invader. Sure, we'll fight those guys. And down to level 2. Like I said, this is definitely the most kind of fun part. Is Fire Eye not here? Usually he's around on the other side. Alright, Arcane
The
Sanctuary
sanctuary.
already.
Horizon's obsession.
Just keep going with Vitality for now. Look at this, 292 to 336. And it shoots 5 times. So you're doing roughly, what is that, 1500 to 2500, you know.
Not enough money.
Okay. Fine, hello. Yeah, it's just these guys can be really weird. This might be an area where it just makes more sense just to go back to the basic. These guys have got a lot of fire resistance. Cursed and magic. Oops. There it is. First time we died. That was a tough situation, all of those dudes just coming in there. You know what? I think that might be the place where we leave it for tonight. We got all the way through Act 1, most of the way through Act 2. But we do have to still plow through the Arcane Sanctuary, and this is just, you know, it's just being a little frustrating with the way the pathing is. I think probably what we'll do is just bust out the teleport staff and just teleport to where we need to get through this. So, but we do have the Arcane Sanctuary waypoint. I'll just show you what happens when you die, basically. You keep your stash, you lose all your items. They're not gone. They're still on your corpse. So you can go in and basically loot your corpse to get your items. But especially in cases like that one where you're just surrounded by a whole bunch of horrible stuff, and you know, you'd have to get through a narrow path to get there and all of that sort of thing. You can also just do this. Save and exit. Come back, create a new game, and then when you come back, your corpse will be right there. Look at that. I mean, get a sense of how nice those graphics are now. Whenever you come back, but your corpse will be right there, right, and then you can pick it up. And while we're doing this, actually, let's just do a couple things real quick before we sign off.
Excellent.
Good day.
Guessing that's and follow. Save this. Save and exit. Normal difficulty. Real quick. Now that will reset all of our maps that we had in Nightmare. Anytime you switch difficulty, it basically resets all of the maps that you had. So you have to be careful doing this. If you have a map you really like, you know, you don't want to be doing this, but Brogden should sell 2 socketed shields. I'm gonna grab a spike shield. I like the spike shields better than I like the bone shields. I don't know why. And then for this, now we can go with Shale and Eth. Yep. And now we have a Rhyme Shield, which has a pretty decent chance to block. But it also has 25 all resistances, 25 magic find, and cannot be frozen. Also regenerate mana 15%. That's kind of nice too. And so we are going to put that on. It doesn't have the same resistances that the Ancient's Pledge does, but the cannot be frozen is really nice. And then we'll check and see. Don't know if Aura sells I know she sells 1 and 2 socketed armor. You could get 3 socketed. I should have checked over here. Maybe she had a 2 socketed large shield or something like that. But Farah is one of the last places you can go to get items before they all basically become magic items everywhere you go. Yeah, that's a long sword. And so here she has no items that have 2. What we really need is a 2-socketed helmet.
How may I help you?
1 socket. Don't know if she can even sell a 2-socketed helmet, although she does have a 3-socketed breastplate. I'm gonna take that just because we may need it at some point. She does also sell, that's actually a pretty cool flail. It has a 5% chance to cast amplified damage on striking. That is a really neat weapon. The only problem with Farah is that she's located in a spot that, she's not always easy to shop.
Blessings to you.
Well, I'm not sure. I'm just curious. Those are just 2 sockets. Does she ever sell a 3-socketed one-handed sword? I don't know. I mean, I know she sells 3-socketed flails. These are really nice for when you're putting together like a black word or something like that. That's great. I don't know if she sells 2-socketed helmets. Try maybe like 2 more times and see what happens. But at least we have our rhyme shield.
Good day.
Socket. She definitely's got that 1 socket unlocked. 2-socketed swords. All broadswords, long swords. We can't use the long sword because we don't have enough dexterity. But the long sword is technically a faster weapon than the broadsword. So if she sold 3-socketed longswords,
It is an honor to serve you.
that would be cool. But I just don't. I honestly, I don't think she does. All the longswords she sells tend to be, they have magic properties. Oh, no, that's a 3-socketed broadsword. So I thought maybe that was a longsword for a second. And here we go. It's a full helm with 2 sockets. So we got what we needed. 2-socketed helm. Just go. Port. And soul. Now we have a lore helm. And this is a really awesome helmet. 1 to all skills, 2 to mana per kill, 30 lightning resist. As good as Dusk Deep is, and Dusk Deep is really good. I mean, 15 all resistances is really helpful. This lore helm is really great for just the additional skills. It's going to help us do even more damage. And lightning resistance, of course, is really nice. So yeah, we've got a few upgrades here. Let's pop out real quick and go to Nightmare again. And then you can see our fire resist has fallen. Cold resistance, you know, these resistances have come down, but our lightning resistance is really high. So this is a time where maybe we should have kept those. Just gonna have this going. Maybe it makes sense to put these Havoc Trample boots back on, because it has additional fire resistance. And the cold resistance we don't care quite as much about, because we have Cannot Be Frozen now. Gets our fire resistance a little better, but not so good. What we really need to do is just find some more fire resistance somewhere. We have quite a bit now.
Good to see you.
So, you know, check things like Charcy from time to time. She's got gloves right now.
Good day, T.
Attack rating, strength, hold arrow. So, over to Luco Lane. Let's just make sure I definitely have the Arcane Sanctuary, yeah.
Good day.
Fire res, 11 magic find. You know, just check them, see what they got. Elzix is really
Welcome
easy
to the
do
Desert
nowadays,
Rain.
right here. Lightning resist 16, faster hit recovery, fire resist, 20% increased attack speed, fire resist 8. 20% increased attack speed is actually pretty nice for this character, because it does help you lay traps faster. But the fire resist 8 is pretty terrible. If it had even like fire resist 18, I'd probably take it. But fire resist 8 is
Good day.
why? You know, why bother?
Welcome to the Desert Rain.
Poison resist. You can see the poison resist ones are going to be.
What you need?
Just want to have one more kind of interesting thing to look at.
Welcome to the Desert Rain.
Really, man, so much lightning resistance on these gloves today.
Hi there.
Cold resist 30. Wow. Tons of cold resistance on here. We really need fire resistance though. Come on, Elzix.
Good day.
Give us something interesting. 20% magic find is definitely a little bit interesting.
Hello.
One more. This will be it, regardless. Regardless of what he says.
Good day.
What you got for us? Last time. 10% increase attack speed. Interesting, but not enough. Lightning resist 30. I'm telling you, they just really want us to have lightning resist in this run. Okay, well, we got it. We got 75 lightning resist. As we go through nightmare difficulty. So, let's see. Looking at this, I do go with the skill tree. Yeah, I think we've got pretty much everything we need to do here. I'm gonna start carrying the cube with me as I go, because that will allow me to take the telephone staff, as well as the quest items we can dump in here. So that's also a thing that, you know, a lot of times. Let's see, what is this? This gives me resistance. 9%, that doesn't really make much difference. Resistance 22. Yeah, tons of lightning resist on that. Probably could just set this aside for now and put the cold resist one on. That maxes out our cold resistance now, which is kind of funny. But yeah, fire resistance is definitely something that we want to be working on. So we'll keep an eye out for more fire resist items as we go. You know, these boots give us ton of cold resistance. Fire resistant boots, fire resistant gloves, those would be good things just to keep an eye out for. As we make our way through it. So we'll get back to that next time. Remember, legacy graphics, just for everyone to really appreciate. You know how far the game has come in 25 years. It's kind of cool. So, see you all next time.